Welcome to this lesson about the communication skill. We're going to look at this mental ability according to the work of Shannon and Weaver, as it has influenced the development of many other theories on communication. This theory is one of the first mathematical models of communication and focuses on the transmission of information from a sender to a receiver through a channel. The Shannon Weaver model is made up of 5 elements: the transmitter, the receiver, the message, the communication channel, and the noise. According to this theory, the transmitter encodes the message, which is then transmitted through a channel to the receiver, who decodes it. Noise refers to any distortion that can affect the transmission. For example, decoding and decoding processes, which take place respectively on the transmitter and on the receiver side, are sources of noise. The communication channel can be of different types, such as spoken language, writing, radio, or television. This theory recognizes the importance of feedback, which refers to a recipient's response to the message. This response is important because it can affect how the sender sends future messages. The Shannon Weaver model focuses on the amount of information transmitted across the channel, rather than the quality or interpretation of the message. We can make an analogy with the SNR that we find in signal theory, the signal-to-noise ratio. Due to the noise introduced by various sources, and therefore the distortion present in communication, transmitting a message in the original form in which it was conceived is not trivial. This also and especially applies to human communication. In fact, you can easily think of how difficult it is to make yourself fully understood and deliver, so to speak, a concept exactly as it was conceived in your mind. This is one of the most difficult activities in which we engage ourselves every day, and which unfortunately is almost never without misunderstandings. So, communication is a fundamental aspect in developers' work, since programmers must be able to communicate not only with computers through the programming language, but also with all the other people involved in a software development project. This allows for effective collaboration in which a good developer communicates with team members, including other developers, system engineers, designers, project managers, quality assurance, and also customers. This communication is on a daily basis in any software development project, especially in an agile context, with the various daily stand-ups and continuous interactions with the customer. Also, the developer's job often involves solving complex problems, and good communication is important in identifying and resolving them, as it allows team members to work together to isolate the cause of the problem and find the most suitable solution. Communication is also essential for project management. A developer must be able to communicate the status of assigned tasks, the critical issues, the difficulties encountered, and the expected delivery times. This communication helps ensure that the project is on time and on budget. Finally, communication is often required with users, customers, and clients. Technicians must frequently interact with these individuals to understand their needs, answer questions, provide project updates, and figure out how to improve software. Effective communication with these stakeholders helps ensure customer satisfaction and deliver of quality product. Let's move on to the techniques that the developer can use to train the ability to communicate. These techniques are to be used mostly in groups, given the nature of communication, although we will see a way to practice alone. Code review is a practice in which two or more team members examine previously written code to isolate errors, bugs, or design flaws. This practice promotes communication between team members and helps improve the quality of the code produced. Pair programming is a software development mode where two programmers work together on a single computer. This technique promotes constant communication between programmers and encourages idea sharing and problem solving. The daily stand-up is a daily meeting where team members come together, face-to-face or online, to discuss the previous day progress, current day goals, and any issues or roadblocks that need to be addressed. This practice promotes constant communication between team members and keeps everyone informed of project progress. User stories are a practice that describes the desired behavior of the software from the user point of view. This technique promotes communication between developers and project stakeholders, such as customers, to define the functionality required by the software. Prototyping is the development activity where you create a prototype to test functionality and usability. This technique promotes communication between developers and project stakeholders to get feedback on software features. Cross-functional collaboration is an important practice that promotes communication between team members belonging to different functions or departments, like, for example, developers in other projects, testers, project managers, etc. This also allows to interface with non-technical people towards whom the effort to communicate clearly is greater, making this activity even more training. Knowledge sharing consists of contributing to knowledge sharing systems like wikis, blogs, forums, etc. This not only benefits the growth of the work group in terms of skill and knowledge, but writing down own knowledge greatly helps train the communication skill. For ease of use, we suggest knowledge sharing here, since it is the only one among all these activities that it is possible to practice alone. However, within the limits of possibilities, the other options are also perfectly valid. If you have carried out the activity proposed at the end of the introductory module, also here, try to compare what you have just seen about communication with the win and lose situations you took note of. What role did your ability to communicate play in the positive outcome? Was it a major feature or a minor one? And even in the lose situation, try to figure out if being more skilled at communicating would have helped and how.